So the next thing, I think one of the things we make mistakes on sometimes is we use the word mild traumatic brain injury too much. Although it's hard, it's like using the word accident. We like to use the word crash or collision rather than an accident, because an accident denotes that somebody's not at fault, because it's just an accident, and that's what the defense always tries to do. So you want to use your own verbiage. One thing you want to do is just call it traumatic brain injury. You don't have to use the word mild, but the other side's going to do it. So you talk about the word mild in describing traumatic brain injury is a misnomer. It doesn't mean insignificant. In fact, any brain injury is significant. And you want to get the doctor to admit that, because the defense is going to keep saying if there is any brain injury, it's mild. And you don't like to use the word mild, so you want to explain to the jury that. If they have organic brain damage, it causes problems to attention, concentration, perhaps memory, judgment, and people are disturbed by that. And even that little bit, if you just can't attend, can't concentrate, have to read the same thing 6 times, it can really affect a person's functioning in society. People become very frustrated because they can't do the things they used to do, even from just an intentional standpoint. Imagine if you had to read an article 4 times to finally get it, instead of just once. How frustrating that is, how much more time you spend. So you want to talk about that. Doctor, you would agree with me that the use of the word mild or minor to describe a brain injury doesn't mean the injury is insignificant, right? And although the brain injury may be considered mild, it can have severe ramifications for that person. And even mild traumatic brain injuries can be permanent, right? And you would agree that some persons can even develop permanent cognitive or emotional problems as a consequence of what's called a mild or a minor brain injury. And Dr. Beniak, I asked those questions to him. Sorry, I got the wrong page here. Let me grab the other page. In my cross-examination of Dr. Beniak, we talked about that. Doctor, and although a brain injury may be classified as mild, it can have pretty severe ramifications for a person, can it? Yeah, the classification system is kind of broad, mild, moderate, severe, but I would say mild does not equate to trivial. You can even have mild traumatic brain injuries that are permanent. Sure you can. Anyway, you've now got him to, you've kind of destroyed their use of the term mild. And you just keep saying traumatic brain injury when you're talking to the jury rather than use that word mild. Try hard not to talk about the term mild, or use the term mild, because then you're playing into their defense of the case.